Hello there, YouTube viewers. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is a new page I've started to expose the New World Order. Because I feel like as a Christian, I have studied the end times. I've been studying Bible prophecy, and it is indeed being fulfilled. Every day on our news media we hear open calls for a one world government. Even President Obama has made the speech. And today, I'm making this video today to talk about a part of that we really need to expose. And because this is an issue that's near and dear to my heart. It's about American freedom. And that is gun control. And in particular, I want to talk about how the government and the Operation Mockingbird mainstream media whores, government-controlled media whores, are now calling for people to be disarmed. They are calling for gun owners to be killed. They're making threats against the president of the NRA, and they're using this senseless tragedy in Connecticut to promote this part of the agenda. They've been wanting to disarm the American people for years. In fact, Sarah Brady, I believe it was her, and I believe there's a quote by Janet Reno where they say, look, registration is only a step. These other gun control laws are only a step. But the end goal is complete disarmament. And I've watched a few videos by Alex Jones. I'm an Alex Jones listener. I love listening to Alex, and he is right. They are trying to get our guns. Okay? They're trying to disarm us and take away our right to defend ourselves and to protect our families and things like that, and deprive us of our right to our personal property. It's totally un-American. It's communist. And in fact, Stalin, Hitler, Mao, all of them, they disarmed people. They passed gun control. That's why I got a t-shirt that they sell at Infowars.com, Mass Murder Degree, Gun Control Works, and they got a picture of Stalin, Hitler, and Mao on there. And I was like, amen, Alex. And I'm tempted to get me another one of those shirts, and maybe they should add Obama's picture on there. I find it's, there's some just weird stuff going on with this shooting. And you've noticed that all these shootings that have happened, they all happened just recently here, right when Obama is getting ready to, to try to put forth this legislation to try to go after guns. He was already saying he was going to do it before the shooting. And the UN's getting ready to consider this treaty to ban guns or whatever it was that they're doing. And right when they're in trouble on their agenda to get the guns, all of a sudden these shootings start happening. And there's these weird peculiarities about the shootings, and I really want to go into that. First off, in fact, every shooting that's happened, we hear about a second shooter, and then the second shooter disappears. Like now in Connecticut, okay, the police arrested a second suspect in the woods, and as they had him cuffed and they brought him up toward the people. The suspect turns around, looks at the people that are there, and says, I didn't do it. Methinks he protests too much, whoever this guy is. Now all of a sudden it's been scrubbed from the media. And they're pushing this narrative of a lone nut assassin, or kind of like Lee Harvey Oswald was. And we all know that wasn't just a lone assassin. Okay, the evidence proves, in fact, you get a book by Jim Garrison called On the Trail of the Assassins, and you realize it was the CIA doing what they usually do. They're good at assassinations and these black ops and everything like that they do to get rid of people. And what really troubles me about this case is you're seeing these telltale signs and these patterns that it is a black op. But anyway, let me go into some more information here about this case. It's weird, okay? I heard them play the tape of the responding officer. He was on his radio. He was going toward the school, and you hear him say he's seen two shadows. It was like he was saying he's seen two suspects. And the fact is that the police were saying there was more than just more than one long gun in the school, but yet the media saying there was only one long gun. And so it's weird stuff like that. The story keeps changing. It's fluid. It keeps changing. Okay. And you ever notice, too, all these shooters, we found out this guy was on meds because he was autistic with a certain form of it called Audenberger syndrome. And the treatment for this particular disorder, well, guess what it is? Serotonin uptake inhibitors, like Prozac and stuff like that. But you'll never hear the mainstream media whores say anything about that because the agenda is get the guns. And I believe they're being told, hey, promote taking the guns. And so basically, you'll never hear something about that. You know, Big Pharma, they control the media too, And, government's in on that Big Pharma thing too. Big Pharma is a big scam. But it's well known that serotonin uptake inhibitors and these other psychotropic drugs like Prozac and stuff like that cause violent behavior. They cause suicidal behavior in people. And every one of these shooters have been on these medications. And it's coming out now. It looks like the shooter in Connecticut was also on these drugs. But you'll never hear a peep out of the mainstream media about banning Prozac or banning these drugs. And I think Alex Jones has made some good points on that. And to me, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And to me, I smell a setup on this. Something stinks from heaven to high water on this. And even if this is not some kind of black op, the government and the media are shamelessly using this tragedy to promote their political agenda, to get rid of the guns. And this is not a gun issue. Okay? Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Especially if they're on Prozac and other psychotropic, dangerous drugs, poisons. They're putting that these so-called psychiatrists are putting people on. And you'll never hear again a peep out of the mainstream media about that. And you also saw President Obama, he's shamelessly using this tragedy to promote his political agenda. And by the way, when he got reelected, he was already saying he was going after the guns. He was already saying it. And they were already trying to get a bill. Dianne Feinstein, I'm going to start calling her Dianne Nazis. That's what she is. She already had a bill out. And they were already doing this treaty to get rid of the guns worldwide. It's part of the New World Order. You see, your globalists like David Rockefeller and his buddies at the Bilderberg Group and the CFR and the Trilateral Commission, they want a uniform world government where guns are banned worldwide. So, that I guarantee you, they're pushing with all their might to get people's guns. I'm scared to death they're going to go door to door something and try to take them. And if they do that, because there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to give them up willingly, And it's not right to take people's right away to defend themselves. It's clearly written. Even the Supreme Court has ruled, by the way, that the right to bear arms is a Second Amendment right. It's a right we have in the Constitution as the American people to bear arms. So, but basically, you see Obama doing that, and then you see how shameful the media is, man. It's like these media are a bunch of ghouls, man. They're sitting here, like this grandmother I seen, she was mourning the loss of her grandchild, and this stupid Fox News reporter kept trying to shove a microphone in her face, and wouldn't let her go, wouldn't get out of her way. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's like, they're using these people's pain and their grief and their tragedy and their sorrow for ratings and to sell an agenda, and it's just it's sickening. I think the media needs to get out of it. They need to leave those people alone. But you see this disgusting agenda, and I read an article on Infowars now where the media are going around harassing these family members trying to get anti-gun quotes. How disgusting! Leave these people alone. You bunch of vampires, you ghouls. It's just how sick and criminal our system, our media is. Okay. And Obama, he's the sickest one of them all. He gets up there, and he's using it. He knows good and well he's just using this for a political agenda. He's using these people. And it's disgusting. It's sickening. We need to stand up for our Constitution, our Second Amendment, and our right to bear arms. And we need to stand up for the families of these victims who are being harassed and abused and re-victimized by the media. This is the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to close this video. There was a woman on the news. They kept plastering her picture all over the news. Her sister was one of the teachers that was killed in this tragedy. And they took a picture of this woman when she was on the phone. And poor woman, you just want to wrap your arms around her, just hold her, tell her it's going to be all right. But she is crying. She's in one of the most private and personal moments you can imagine. The most private, personal, just deep moments. And these people snap a picture of it, and they're plastering it all over the news. How must this woman feel about this? It's re-victimizing her again and again. And the media, they act like they care. The media, they don't care about these people. They don't care about these families. They're just trying to make a buck. That's all, and it's disgusting. It's sickening. And I hope some of these victims' families have enough sense to sue the media, man. Sue them for damages, for emotional distress, everything they can get, because it's not right. And then they take pictures of these poor, frightened kids that are being let out of the school and they're crying. Did they get the parents' permission to slap these pictures up there of these minors? And I guess when these kids, if they happen to see the news, or these parents, They get to relive that trauma over and over. I mean, it's disgusting.